Hej, mitt namn är Simon och jag är kvalitetsansvarig i Kid Interiør. Mitt bästa tips är att följa vaskrådet för dina dyner och när de blir för gamla och du känner att det är dags för en ny dyna så kan du lämna in den i några av våra butiker så gör vi vårt bästa för att den ska få ett nytt liv igen.
Yes. Hello, yeah, my name is, we'll do this in English because none of us are from Norway, so it's easier for us and to be able to communicate at all. But my name is Simon, I'm the Quality Assurance Manager for Kid Interiør, and we are together with Hemtex in Sweden, the biggest home interior retailer in the Nordic region.
And my name is Matus and I work in UFF with the Sustainability and Cooperation. And today we are going to give you some example because we started basically from beginning. We started why we should collect, what we should recycle and reuse, what we should do, and now we are going to give you some practical example of how it can work with, for example, in the future, what we can do. We are going to talk about the recycle of the down and what's happening with that. We will show you short process and how it works at all. When we collect in UFF, basically all collection or clothes that we collect and textile goes together in a sorting center. In a sorting center, then all clothes is sorted manually. Basically there are people and they pre-sort it. And afterwards we are getting down because we are going to talk about the down and how to separate a down. It's a feather, basically.
Yeah. So down and feather, it originates from birds, and it's a very good material because of its 3D structure, which creates a very resilient bulk and fluffiness, which traps the air inside and creates very good isolation properties, which is used in jackets and
duvets, pillows,
yes, and pillows.
And sleeping bags.
Yeah. So we would like to start to show a short movie of the process in general, how it works. And then afterwards we will go a little bit more into details in how the steps are working.
Yes.
Yes. So Kid collects approximately 850 kilos of textiles each week in our stores across Norway. And they are collected in stores, gathered, and when each store has enough, they send it back to our main warehouse in Drammen, where UFF comes and picks it up.
And when we pick it up from a kit, then we send it to our sorting centers, as I mentioned already. And then in sorting center, all clothes and textile is divided to different categories. We can have approximately up to 100 categories. You can, like t-shirts, trousers, up to 100, so it's quite a lot. And then once this we have sorted categories, we take, for example, we speak about the down and feather, then we take this down and separate it. Because then you have to rip, for example, pillows and duvets and take all down out. When you take it out, then you will put it to a machine that Simon will show you later.
So we can take the next slide again. So when the final fraction of down and feather products, it can be jackets and sleeping bags and pillows and duvets, they are sent to this recycling unit where all the products are ripped open and the down and feather is put into this kind of machine where down and feather are separated into different qualities. The residues that are not good enough to be recycled, they are pressed together into a pellet, which is a very good fertilizer in the agricultural sector. And the fabric from the jackets and pillows and duvets, it's torn apart and used as isolation materials. So this factory is very much focusing on using all the collected materials and put it into different uses.
When we speak about the down, then you have to imagine that, for example, when you have one duvet, you need approximately 1.5 kilogram or 2 kilograms of a down. And for this 2 kilogram, you need roughly 1 ton of clothes. So 1 ton, it's approximately pile like as big of clothes, and out of this one you can get 1 duvet, recycled duvet.
As you saw in the first movie, there are different steps that the material goes through to be able to be a new product. So it's sterilized and washed to be clean again, and it's sorted in the different fractions, and it's checked for quality in a lab, and it's according to the global down and feather standards. So when this process is done, down and feather is as good as new. So there's the same value for this product after the recycling process. And this is just to summarize how we can have an old product turned into a new product with the same kind of quality and with the same value.
When we speak about the sustainability all the time now, during today, recent or a few days ago I was watching a movie from David Attenborough. Maybe you also have seen it. It's a new movie. And there are two basic messages. One is that he is long life activist. And he is because he has seen the world how it's changing during his lifetime. And the second message is to give us some example what we can do. So for example, here is what we can do, how we can sort it. Some textile we cannot sort it or recycle because we don't know how. There is no technology or it's too expensive to do it. And then back to the first part, lifelong activist, because before I came to UFF, I lived in India and in Africa for 4 years, and I was working on different environmental and educational projects. And when I went to work every day, I was passing landfill. I mean, you probably heard, all textile that we cannot produce, we don't know how, it ends up in an incinerator, we burn it, or we put to landlines. But landline is not a hole in the wall, it's a mountain. It's a mountain where you drive, for example, 20 kilometers. You know, you drive 20 kilometers and there is a pile, I don't know, many meters tall, you know, and it's just piling every day. So, and when you see things like this one, then you became like aware of sustainability. Because you can, either you can be sustainable because somebody tells you that it's good and you have to do it, or you see something that changes your life, and then you become like real activist or environmentalist, better to say.
Yeah. And we would like to we showed you this process because it's a very well-working process. And as you say, from this pile of clothes that is collected, approximately from 1 ton of collected textiles and garments, we can get approximately 1 new dovet. So it's not a lot in the overall, but it's a very good circular process for down and feather.
I just want to stress, because when you have a pile like this one, 1 ton, it's approximately so much of clothes, yeah? Yeah, roughly this. But you don't get just 1 down. You get 1 down, but then you get approximately 20% is a good clothes that we can reuse again straight away in the shops that we can buy like we are wearing, for example, now. So 20%. But you can get 1 duvet, and this duvet is approximately 0.5% from this 1 ton. You know, so it's not just 1 duvet from 1 ton, but it's clothes that we can wear straight away, then it's own textile that you can use again, like somebody was mentioning in presentation already before. So there are different kinds of textile inside in 1 ton. But still there is a percentage, 20-30%, that is very difficult to reuse or recycle. And that's where we are working together and finding solutions.